Oh, okay.
What was his greatest asset?
I don't know.
He was
I guess
the crazy fucking dude in Backstreet Boys that was like going all hard, but nobody really liked him. No one really liked him.
You're like the bad. They're like the bad boy of the group.
I don't know if I'm the bad boy. Tandy's more like the bad boy.
What? As hard as I work to maintain a reputation of not being that, I think I take offense.
I'm not the bad boy.
But you know. Go ahead.
Oh. You're back.
I know.
I'm gonna cue the music so we can start the show.
Do that.
Always. I eat beats, watch me dining.
Why am I looking at pictures of Backstreet Boys?
Yeah.
That's the dude. That's John.
Yeah, that's me. I don't believe that's me, but I think that's how people perceive me. I'll be the crazy dude.
Well, to everybody out there, I want you to pull up a picture of the Backstreet Boys. Pick the one you identify with. Keep that in mind as you watch the Cant Tell Us Nothing show, which is what you're tuned into right now. Cant Tell Us Nothing show, everybody. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the air horn. Is that a real sound, like, in the world?
Of course it is. Of course.
Like, I'm talking about outside of, like, music tracks. Like, was that used in machinery industry somewhere? Does that indicate something horrible happening? Something great happening?
I think it's an
the ship is capsizing. Like what?
Does no one like the air horn?
I think if I were walking around like downtown Houston and I heard that, I would kind of be tempted to walk towards it to see actually what was going on and not away from it.
Yeah,
but that's just me.
Okay.
It sounds like a party.
It sounds like a party. Well, what else sounds like a party is Cant Tell Us Nothing show. I'll get back to the intro. In that party, you might find John, you might find Amechi, you might find Tandi, you might find myself, Antoine, improv group out of Houston, Texas. And by improv, I mean we take opinions, discussions, topics, and make up scenes out of it. Just make it up out of thin air. We don't even know what we're going to do until we get so inspired that we create characters in a world out of nothing. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes we're joined by special guests. Today, you can see it. We got a couple of people in this room.
Oh yeah. I will gladly introduce this. So I did a class recently called Earning Your Absurdity. It was a brainchild of a lot of the improv journey I've been on and tools and devices and skills I picked up. And I was gracious to have students want to join that class and have some fun with it. And in that class, these 4 lovely people were some of the few that got to jump on our podcast and show their skills, let us know who they are and their interests, and just have fun on the pod. You know, something I thought would be an awesome way to do an in-class show, knowing that I couldn't provide them with a stage to do a show on. This could be the stage. So shout out to Ronnie, Astrid, Dara, and Adam. Let's go.
What's up?
And they also were very consistent. They showed up. So some of the stuff is you have to show up. If you showed up, you enjoyed, you challenged yourself, you know, you were engaged, and you just tried to do your best. Man, let's go. Let's jump on this show. Let's have some fun. So these are some of those individuals that were doing that, and boom, we're here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yes, thanks for coming.
Just to let not only my group, but some of the listeners, you guys can just share with us what was not necessarily the class like, but what has this year been like having no physical improv, and then now you see this class that pops up? Like, what's going through your head during COVID as an improviser, somebody who wants to find a stage? Like, you know, anybody?
Yeah, I ended up working at a middle school this year, and so really the only improv that I did was in the middle school cafeteria with the students, and they didn't really know that they were doing improv with me. So that's probably the closest that I got to it. So to have this opportunity to be back in person with adults was a whole lot better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would think kids should be the most purest improvisers on the planet, but they don't understand it's improv, which makes them probably terrible at the same time. If only they knew, hey, I could do this and it's a real thing, right? They would be geniuses at it. They do it all the time. But it's interesting you said that. Yeah. What about you, Adam? What you think? What was your?
For me, I just miss actually being around people and performing because my job doesn't allow me to work from home. So I was actually at work this whole time, but a lot of the people I work with got to work from home. So the minimal people I actually got to work with probably got sick and tired of me just attempting to act a fool sometimes because I didn't really have a place, like an outlet to do anything with, right? So it's nice just to actually be in person and back around people to perform and just see everyone again.
Yeah.
I want to highlight that word he said, outlet. I deeply believe people need a creative outlet in their life somewhere. And if you don't have it, it's just going to burst out of you at work or something. So
yeah, you're going to start breakdancing at work because somebody played a song and you're like, why haven't I been dancing this whole time? What am I printing shit off for? I should be dancing. I think creativity for me, even as a young child, helped me process my emotions. Like even if that was at the least, right? If I was very emotional to the point where you couldn't really say anything to somebody without it becoming just a bunch of negative thoughts, right? I could just literally go to my room, paint, draw, write, or I used to do comics. I would draw and come up with characters and do comics. And I remember after 2 hours of focusing on that, whatever I was upset about had just transferred into what I was doing. And everybody that I'd hated, I forgot about why I hated them, right? Of course, until you get older. But I mean, I recognize that even at a young age, right?
Then you remember all the people you hated, like when they came back to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember
that guy. You just get one of those vibes from people you seen, like old teachers. You're like, you're cool now, but I really hated your ass. But you're cool, so I like you now. Dope. Gosh, yeah. What about you, Ronnie?
Well, actually, I got to kind of keep doing improv during some of the pandemic. Down by where I live, there's a community theater, and they had a little kind of class get together. There was a guy who I guess he did kind of improv, and he said, "Hey, I'll put on an adult class." And so me and some other folks from Station kind of made it over there, and then there were some other people that were not necessarily improvisers, but they wanted to learn. And it was a lot more short form kind of based, so it was different than what we were learning at Station. But it was fun. So we got to keep doing it. We were doing it with masks on, so it was a little weird. But it allowed me to kind of keep doing that on the side. And I fully agree with everybody else about the kind of having something that you can go and have that creative outlet. It was good to keep that going like we did.
Yeah.
That's wild. Did you guys put on shows or was it only class and rehearsal?
We did do one show. So it was back a couple months ago, and it was like everybody had been vaccinated, and we were finally at that point where we could go without the masks, and the audience still had masks on, but we actually did a little show at the community theater, and we just did kind of like the short form games.
And people came out. And people came out to watch it.
Yeah, it was our family members. So yeah, a lot of those people came. It wasn't very well advertised. Exactly. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The people wanted entertainment. They didn't care.
Yep.
Yeah, I think people are ready just to get out of their houses. Like, especially now, I just think they're ready to get out and start seeing stuff again.
That's right.
I went
to the movies and there's I went and saw Fast and Furious. I even want to see it. I just want to get out of my house and just see something.
Love it, man.
Fast and Furious. We don't care if you like it. Just get out of your house.
Adam was furious watching it. He was like, something.
It's something.
I can't leave too soon. I need to sit through this. No, I agree with you, man. You know, for anybody, I don't know if you remember me saying this. I say it all the time. I like bad movies. I host bad movie parties. Bad movies. I think the stock of bad movies went up during COVID because people had like, I saw a tweet that said like somebody just beat Netflix, right? Like they watched every movie they could watch on Netflix, except for all the bad ones. The bad ones, there's so many of them that have terrible plots that if you want some pure entertainment, right? It's like going to see, you know, well, I'm not going to say that. I just like it as a form of entertainment. It's so unpredictable. They're terrible. But when you get groups of people together, they seem to all become entertained by this terrible movie that we're watching. So I dove into that a lot deeper and start coming out with some incredibly bad movies that I wouldn't even have got time to go to had COVID not happened.
So does Netflix have a category bad movies?
I don't think they do. And I don't think so, but I've thought about it. You know, would that offend you as a director if you got your movies kept getting put in a bad movie genre?
Probably initially, but if over time I'm like a cult classically bad movie, then I'm cool with that. But at first, that would hurt my feelings because I didn't set out. I don't. Do you think people set out to make bad ones?
No,
I don't.
I think they set out. Yeah, I think they set out to make money. I think somewhere along those lines is where you get the bad ones. Where like I don't even care. Just get it done.
Whatever.
Yeah, we can't lose any more money on this movie. Finish it, and then they put it out.
That movie that was made. There's that movie made about it, right? The guy who didn't want to make the bad. You want to make a good movie was with like James Franco, right?
Yes, it was called Disaster Movie. They made a movie about a bad movie that was made.
Yeah.
That still is not as good as watching the original terrible movie. I think it made more context. It made it funnier to me personally. But yeah, those kinds of movies, disaster movies. Yeah, that's what the genre should be called, disaster movies.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound
box office bombs.
That's just terrible.
TV. Yeah,
I can't remember the name of the movie company, but there's like Toxic Avenger and movies like that. I mean, they know they're kind of cheesy and like low budget, but they still attract an audience and they still make money, and like they know their audience, so they know they can make it kind of cheesy, but people will still see it. And I think they kind of found their little niche there. Just, hey, our movies aren't going to be the greatest, they're not going to be the biggest budget, but they're just, people are still going to come see them, even if it's like straight to video or on Netflix or whatever.
Yeah, it's niche. And see, a movie like that, I've seen like clips of Toxic Avenger. I don't think I'll ever watch a full movie. I don't know, but I kind of put those movies in like the same category as South Park. Like South Park isn't trying to make a good-looking show necessarily, right? The animation, it looks very cheap, at least in the early on, and they know it, and they went with it because that was their thing. And like you said, John, even the beginning of the show, they're like, the impressions they use are horrible. Like they're not trying to do good celebrity impressions, and they tell you right off the top. But it's a good show at the end of the day. Like it achieves what they went out to achieve,
and more sometimes.
More.
There are that also are just knockoffs of a really popular one. You know, like Star Wars will come out, and then Star Battles, skirmishes.
Yeah, Star Skirmishes. That sounds like producer Neil has a joke about how bad the Sci-Fi Channel's title names were, and then said that they would take a popular movie's title and they would just make it so plain and simple. Like instead of Jurassic Park, they would say Dinosaur. What do they call it? Dinosaur Garden or Dinosaur Ford or something like that. Or a man getting chased by a dinosaur or something like that, right? That's what that reminds me of. I hate those types of movies. I think I think the title is a part of the entertainment of the movie. right? So if you make a basic, for example, RoboCop, right? If they would have called it Robotic Cop, right? That would have been a terrible name. It would have been a terrible name. And it would have skewed how you watched it. You would have been like, man, that movie was pretty dope. Why the fuck did they name it Robotic Cop?
Mm-hmm.
But RoboCop is basically the same thing. It just has a better, sound to it.
Rolls off the tongue.
Rolls off the tongue, even though it's literally the same exact premise. Robotic Cop.
we cut to a kind of like a writer's room, office table sort of situation. A bunch of people sitting around a table. Towards that, all right, guys. We can't put this off any longer. We filmed the movie. It is done. We just need a title. So we got to start putting our heads together here and think about what should this movie be called. Remember, we want to make it splash at the box office. We want to excite people's imagination. Let's think about what this movie's about, the message of it. Let's find a title that just really hits you right where it needs to be hit.
It's just, we did a lot of rewrites, so a lot of things that would change from the original concept. Can we just go over what the final film turned out to be before we, name it? I think that'll help.
I mean,
more context.
We've been working day and night on this film. We all know it. Yeah, rewrites happen. We have to make changes.
Sorry, guys, I brought the coffee. I was late. I thought we were going to be done way earlier than this, but apologize. I'm here.
Yeah, this is the last piece of the puzzle, John. It's the last piece of the puzzle. We just need a name for this movie. That is it, and then we can get it out to the movie theaters, to people's homes, maybe Netflix.
What if we call it Last Movie Ever?
It's not bad.
Last movie ever. Yeah. How does that tie into the story of the movie?
I don't think it does, but I think it'll make people want to go see it.
Yeah, but it's the last movie. I mean, it's the last chance to get out of your house, right? I mean, some people will just go to see that.
I mean, think about the marketing, right? We just put up a bunch of billboards that says, get in line right now for the last movie ever, right? Boom.
Well, this is just my thought is if we start running an ad, like a big ad campaign like that, do you think it would cause fear in people? Like they may start going out and, maybe doing other stuff instead of going to the movie.
You think that no one's going to watch the movie after?
Like they're saying this is the last movie ever. Like what's going to happen before that like I need to get done. You know what I mean?
Oh, you think they're going to put it off until they're finally ready to sit down and watch the last movie ever?
Yeah, because to me, when I see last movie ever billboards, I'm like, they know something. Like they know something's going to happen. Like I would go out and see my family, hang out with them, and then like, okay, I'm ready to see this movie, and then afterwards, obviously, world probably going to end.
I think Adam is on a good point here. I feel like we're sending a weird message to our possible fans.
We cut to 2 weeks later. They did do that. They did Last Movie Ever, and nobody went to see it. Made $0 at the box office.
Well,
all right, guys. It looks like everybody did go and do everything else instead of going to see our movie.
Guys, we made $0 at the. That means none of us went to go watch the movie either.
Why? We had stuff to do.
Man, my grandmother called me and told me that I needed to come over and help her because she thought the world was going to end. It was a terrible idea, man. It was a terrible idea. Why did you let us do that, Antoine?
I didn't. I tried to tell you guys.
You're running this thing, man. We're just writers.
Yeah, you said Adam had the best idea, and we're gonna go with that idea.
We need to make a movie to fix this. Then we need to make that's why I brought Ronnie in to help us out here. We need to make a movie to fix this mistake because now everybody thinking the world is going to end any day now, and it's chaos out there.
Ronnie, you still making them old those Lifetime movies, man? You still ever making them Lifetime movies?
I think that's what we need, a feel good Lifetime movie.
Right. No, I mean I think that's the direction we need to take this. So I mean, last movie ever was a little bit much to put on the audience, but what they want to see, just as based on my experience at least, has been, that dark boyfriend, right? the one that you just he's
you say dark boyfriend.
The dark boyfriend. That's right. The one that she just can't trust. He's got the past that we don't understand. We need that character, in this movie to really bring the finality, right?
I gotta ask, is he literally dark?
Yeah, I mean he's got a trench coat on. He's in the darkness. He's in the shadows. He comes from a dark place.
He comes from a dark place.
Yes.
Are his family members dark as well? I'm really fascinated now about this boyfriend.
Yeah, no, I think that he had a rough upbringing. I mean, that's where his where the problem started. I mean, he probably had a not a good role model for a dad, if there was one. I don't know. I mean, this is all stuff we can explore when we start the writing process.
What if we had, I know the dark boyfriend in the city. What if there's a country boy who's going to teach her the true meaning of Christmas, and they can just move out to,
yes,
bring in some lightness, kind of the opposite of the last movie ever.
Yes, I agree. We got to do that.
What if both of them were like the two angels that sat on her shoulders? It was like the ex dark bad boyfriend versus the Christmas light good boyfriend. I think we got something there, guys.
I like it.
That's sounding good to me.
Well, then let's. We got to think of a title for this. I don't want to get into the same issue we got into last time.
How about the last good movie ever?
Yeah,
John.
We didn't clarify it was a good movie. Maybe they thought, why waste my time at the end of the life watching a random movie?
The only way to get past what we did last time is going to be a long title, but it's just going to be all the happy adjectives you can think of. It's going to be called like happy, joy, good, luck, etc. A bunch of long happy words movie. Just so people know, this is going to be this can be a happy movie. I'm going to feel good leaving it. World's not ending, obviously.
A lot of adjectives.
Just a bunch of positive adjectives. The movie.
That's just me though, Lynn.
I just brought donuts here for you guys, and I couldn't help but overhear. But it just sounds like you're doing a thesaurus, and that's cool. How about the last good movie, the sequel, or the good last movie?
That's good, guys. This is our audience. Okay, listen to the customer. Listen to the customer.
We cut to two people outside of a movie theater looking at the movie poster of this movie, trying to read the title.
What's wrong, baby?
Well, there's so many words. Not only you have to stand here and then walk around to the side to see the rest of the poster.
Yeah, I don't know what Hollywood's doing nowadays, man. I mean, they doing anything.
Overkill. I think it's overkill. They're putting all this happy, joy, fantastic, amazing, stupendous, wonderful. Yeah. I can't even read the rest on the other side. But that must mean that the movie's bad. I think that they're just trying to ladle on all of this stuff to try to cover up. It's probably from that same stupid company that made the last movie ever. And they're trying to recoup their money.
I know. And by the way, I'm sorry for saying I wanted to divorce because I thought the world was going to end.
And scene. I'm sorry for saying I wanted to divorce. Still apologizing.
Because of the movie. I mean, you be apologizing for life. This fool left me over a movie.
Shout out to the people in the chat coming up with their own movies. I think someone said Trauma. Is that a movie?
Oh, Trauma. That's the name of the film company for Toxic Avenger and all those.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That's right.
Shout out to Carlos.
So Cameron mentioned how he loves how no other studio made a movie after this movie either.
Oh well,
I guess we're done.
We missed our shot.
All the carpenters, all the lighting, everybody's associated with the industry, they just shut down.
Yeah. They made it. They finally made it.
Yep.
So let's take a guess right now because I have you guys on. How many Fast and the Furiouses do you think we're going to get?
Are you Are you going to include spin-offs as well, or just the ones that are called Fast
good
and the
question.
Furious?
Good question.
That's a good question. I'm thinking Maine. Maine squeezes.
Okay.
No Hobbs and Shaws.
Is it that? I don't think that worked.
Fast and Furious presents the what's the cartoon? There's a cartoon.
There's a cartoon. Lord.
What's the Vin Diesel's last name in that movie? Toretto.
Yeah.
The Torettos, I think it's called.
I don't think it works, man. I don't think it works, man.
I'm gonna throw out 12 in the main.
They're at 11, right?
They're at 9.
They're at 9 now.
This is the 9th.
Yeah. I would say 12 or 13 probably. And I mean, people are going to see them, like I said, just because they know. Just because.
Does they have to have Vin Diesel in it? Is that the only criteria for it to be truly? I mean, if he's still there, or if they're just calling him Fast and Furious?
That is true, because what if he leaves in The Rock? Because The Rock is in some of them too. So if The Rock takes over.
Yeah. Jason Statham is there somehow.
I'm a big Jason Statham fan.
Yeah. Now I'll go see one.
You don't think Tyrese will take over? He's not doing anything else.
I don't know. Tyrese is the worst character.
I don't even watch those.
Worse than Ludacris. Ludacris is the intelligent dude in the show. In the movie. We don't.
You just really messed that up.
Be a big deal. Like Tyrese used to be a big deal.
When he was singing those Coca-Cola commercials, like when he was like newly discovered, and everybody's like, "Who's this guy?" And then he started yapping, and we're like, "Cancel this."
As soon as he started talking,
stop talking.
Shut the fuck up.
Let's do your movies. Just do the thing. Just do the thing.
But his movies aren't that great, and I'm not a big Pete Davidson fan, which I've never met him. So sorry, Pete. Not sorry. Hopefully I fuck with you whenever I meet you. Nonetheless, the funniest thing he said was that when he was shitting on Tyrese being the comedic, he's a comedic actor in Fast and the Furious, and he was like basically saying how many other comedians that could take that job and have done better than Tyrese, being that he was so like, how could you make Hobbs and Shaw and before you made this movie? And everyone's like, no one watches Fast and the Furious for you, Tyrese. Nobody. There's no Tyrese dolls in Fast and Furious. I can't even I don't even know what you do in the movies. Right? I don't know. You drive? Do you fix them? Do you just smile? I don't know what do you do in Fast and Furious. I know what Ludacris does. He's the smart guy. That's all I know. He knows technology. Doll. What does he do? But yeah, Pete Davidson had a point, man. Like how many comedians could have been eating off of that role, but they got an unlikable R&B singer.
I think he sees himself as an actor. I think he thinks that.
Like, who would you have, if you could think of like a comedian to put in that Tyrese role though? Like, who would you want to see? I guess
I would have took a young guy, and I might not even have took a comedian, but because sometimes comedians just go over the top. I would have, if I could think of a guy who would have taken that job, I would have cast it. No, I wouldn't have done Kevin Hart Miranda.
That's too obvious.
Kevin
Hart pops up in Hobbs and Shaw.
I would have done Craig Ferguson.
Yeah.
Now think of that, right? You would have watched it because Craig Ferguson's in it. Tyrese doesn't make you want to watch it. Craig Ferguson makes you want to watch it. What the fuck is Craig Ferguson going to do with Fast and Furious? I don't know. He's funny.
Exact opposite of Tyrese.
He is. But he can play serious roles. He played in James Brown's biopic. He's a musician. He's witty. Why not, right? He's big, but I think that's diversity. Makes it funny. Versus Tyrese. I mean,
some kind of Scottish super villain or something like that, right? Yeah. We had Charlize Theron. We had Jason Statham.
I like Jason.
Run through all those.
I could watch a movie of Jason Statham going, and every character in the movie is Jason Statham. I could watch a movie with him doing different, and he wouldn't have to change his voice for the different characters.
Wearing different outfits,
just wearing different outfits and different wigs. And I was like, damn, this is a good movie.
Did you see him in Spy with Melissa McCarthy?
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. I saw it. I liked it.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Melissa is the beast, man.
But that's an interesting question because Tyrese is supposed to feel like comedic role in an action movie, and I was thinking, who these days would even be that? Like, I'm sorry,
Ben Stiller was a funny action guy in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, no, I was actually thinking of black actors because I was that's where I was struggling. I was thinking of before him, you had like Chris Tucker, who was in movies like that. You had Eddie Murphy. I'm trying to think who's.
I was going to say Craig Robinson because I think it'd just be funny to see him in an action movie.
He's just because he's not action at all.
No, but I think it'd just be funny just to see him, even if it wasn't like the main star, but just to be like a supporting character in an action movie. I think that'd be kind of funny to me.
Yeah.
By the way, I meant Craig Robinson, not Craig.
Is that who you meant? Oh, okay,
yeah. Craig Ferguson's like some sort of late night TV host.
British late night TV.
I know. I was like, oh, okay, John, that's cool. That's cool.
No.
Miranda said Danny Glover. Danny Glover.
I can see Donald Glover. I wouldn't put Danny Glover.
I think she meant like back in the day. Not now.
Like, she said Michael Che. Can you see Michael Che like really getting into it?
I don't see him as an actor.
Man, yeah. I mean, there would be so much doubt.
Disconnected.
Yeah. He'd cast so much doubt. Like you wouldn't even believe the movie's going on. He'd be probably breaking all the third walls with his comments and yeah.
What about Chris Red?
Chris Red?
He's on SNL also.
Yeah, Chris Red.
He's comedian.
Yeah. You know what? He's unassuming enough because he blew. What is that? Never stop.
Never stop.
Oh,
he was hilarious.
Don't stop. Never stop.
Don't stop. Oh man.
That was funny. I see Chris Red, and I would give him a shot. I think he would do phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can see that. Good.
Yeah. Shauna says Arsenio. We can't forget about Arsenio.
What? It was so.
Remember, these people are running, jumping, firing machine guns.
Danny Glover,
Arsenio Hall, and
we cut back to that writing movie. We cut back to the writings room. They're pitching another movie, an action movie. All right, so I think for this one, I think I want to cast Danny Glover as the lead action guy in the new Blade. What y'all thinking?
I can see it going that way. I think
we see Danny Glover playing Blade.
We could pull in a whole new audience. We could pull in the 6 p.m. crowd. You know, the ones who go to the movie twilight time because they're home before 7. They've already had their dinner by 4:30. You know the population I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about here. The retirement.
Can you clarify for me? I have so many populations in my head right now. I don't know.
We're talking about the retirees. I mean, the baby boomers. They're a really big population. They've got disposable income. They've got time. They can commit to fandom now that they don't have anything going on. So, I mean, I think if we pull some of the older guys out, people, their age mates.
So it's Blade.
Yes.
It's Danny Glover.
Yes.
But he's also relatable. He may be a vampire, but he's an old vampire.
He's an older vampire.
He's a daywalker.
He's a daywalker.
He's got a dad bod.
And he's got a
dad bod. He's still wearing the same outfit. Like the tight spandex thing, but it's clearly dad bod.
And he has his regular dad. He has his regular voice too. Danny Glover's voice.
I've done focus groups. I did a focus group a couple of weekends ago to find out how older moviegoers respond to men with gray hair.
We cut to that focus group.
Okay. What do you think about this guy? All right. Just look on the wall here. Look at him. All of the top is gray in the beard, gray mustache. You
Looks
see
smart.
this guy. He looked exactly. I'm gonna write that down.
It's
You
real
said
smart. Wise.
I like that. Any other thoughts about this guy?
Adam, you got to speak up your little.
Yeah, we can't hear you there. Sorry.
He looks pretty hot.
He hot. I'm gonna write that down. Hot. Okay.
I was gonna say he looks like tough, you know, like he'd be strong, like tough, but also probably kind of sensitive. Like you would trust him.
Tough, sensitive, and trustworthy. Could you see this guy in an action movie? I mean, you know, some running, some jumping, but mostly giving wisdom to the youth.
I can see that. Mm-hmm.
You can. It's like okay.
He's strong on the inside, mostly.
Strong on the inside. Do you think that's where? You think that's
not
where
physically fighting, but maybe just convincing his opponents to lay down their weapon and
a mental battle, if you will, but through polite convincing. Oh, good. Yeah. These are great notes. Great notes.
You know, he's got a lifetime of experience of fights at this point, so he can, lay that wisdom on all these young guys these young vampires who don't know any better. You know.
Oh, and you see him as a vampire.
We cut back to the writers' room. So at the focus group, they essentially just want to see an old vampire talk to people, give them life lessons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was full of wisdom. You know, he could use that. They thought he was trustworthy. They thought he was strong on the inside. I mean, if nothing else, vampires generally don't look like really strong brutes. They've got that sense. Exactly. They've got that sensitivity, and they will kill you. I mean,
you seen that Twilight kid? He looks like a sheet of paper.
Exactly.
Yep.
The whole family was like a sheet of paper. Go ahead.
He's like snuggly with a sword.
Snuggly.
Like,
right.
I got the perfect title too. I'm thinking about what you guys think about The Last Blade Ever?
And scene. It better be. Goodness. Last Blade Ever.
I would never watch it.
Snuggly with a sword. Come here, you.
Now, can you imagine the opening scene in the club and a Danny Glover with all this leather and a like white grayish blade haircut going? I think you guys need to get out of here. Speak up, Danny. We couldn't hear you. You know, like
no techno music in the background, just
loud,
like
loud,
old 60s.
No one's like, what is Scott saying? And he's like cutting people up. Like, oh, he's killing them. Somebody should make that The Last Blade Ever. Somebody should get that from Marvel.
Oh God, I love it.
Awesome. Cool. Since we got some time, I want to actually give us more time to do this. I want to check out TMZ for the story that came across my let's call social medias. And of course, if you're a millennial or a person with a social media or a smartphone, typically you're probably a part of the group of individuals that get inbound of all these different shares of the craziness that exists in the world we live in. A lot of those come out of TMZ. So I'm going to show this actual video of a woman literally trying to buy clothes. And I believe she said it was like she got a free coupon to come in and get something from Victoria's Secret. And in her trip to go get something from Victoria's Secret, a customer tried to assault her. Now, we don't know what happened before and all that. All we know is the video. And while you're watching this video, for everyone's watching, including my guest, I want to ask yourself and answer this question. What would you do if you were the lady with the camera? All right. So is everyone ready? Everyone ready to see this one?
Yep.
All right. Let's go.
Oh God, no, excuse. Now you are. Oh my God! Oh my God! Did you see this? Oh my God! I never thought nothing like this would happen to me. She just tried to run and hit me. And now she... Did you see her? You saw her, right? They all saw her. Oh my God. Karen had a breakdown. She tried to hit me. Ask your workers. She tried to hit me. She tried to hit me. Now I want security for you. Oh my God. Don't charge me. Oh, you wanna? Oh, yeah, she. I'm scared to even approach her.
I like how people are still checking out.
I love that.
Yes.
Business never stops in America.
Absolutely. No security, no nothing.
They're like, I got places to be.
Look,
Why
nobody.
would she walk away from me? No, I was here. No. We're not doing this. Why don't I walk away from her? Why don't she get away from me? She could get away. Go wherever you want to go. This is crazy.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. Hold on. Oh, sorry. Let me rewind that.
Oh, how dare you?
Let me rewind that.
Over that slow fall down.
Let me rewind.
There it is. That 1 foot out, lean down, grab on. Don't hurt too bad.
Head landed nicely
Safe
on the purse.
Put your hands under you and catch yourself.
You keep lying saying I'm threatening you, so I'm recording to protect myself.
This is Victoria's Secret. You see the workers in the back?
Mm-hmm.
They act like this is normal.
Yeah, how is there no one taking her out of the store?
That's what I never understood this part. I was like, is she part owner? She is a daddy on the store? Yeah.
Crazy lady. Because she attacked me and try to say I attacked her. You look at this. Oh, y'all better get this lady. Security. Security. Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, can y'all get her away from me? Get her away from me.
Okay. We've seen exactly what that was.
I think she might legitimately be some sort of witch. I think the camera phone was melting her slowly.
So when I watched this for the first time, I immediately thought about when my children have tantrums, and when I do not get them calm, or when I let's say egg it on, even they start to believe I am the bad person because of how they feel, right? Because the original thing they did is what caused you to get in trouble, which brought on the tantrum. But the fact that I am not, putting you or isolating you, getting you in a place where you can calm down, I'm kind of like just letting it fester. My children will do the same thing. They're like, Daddy, you're mean. I don't understand. You don't never let me talk. And I'm like, that's not true. I got the same feeling and vibe from this video here. By the way, still never forget about the question. So I want to go around and hear people's thoughts. What do you do if you are the woman with the camera? Open table.
I mean, I can see. I would like to know what happened beforehand. Obviously, something bad enough for her to start filming, I guess. But like, if I don't know if I would have turned off the camera. I thought it was kind of funny that like it started off where she was kind of next to her, but then she got like that shelf between the two of them because she knew something was, as soon as she's getting off the floor, she's gonna do something. But I mean, I probably would have just kept the camera on her. I mean, if would
you ever go back to that Victoria's Secret?
I mean, I might like walk by it and kind of peek in and be like, is she here? Oh, she's not here. We run in real fast and get something and leave.
Interesting. I want to hear more.
Yeah, I like how, I probably would have done the same, maintained a distance, but kept the camera on and probably just kind of said some stuff in a low voice that she could barely hear, but sounds like Absurd.
Danny Glover voice.
Yeah.
The Danny
There's
Glover
something
play.
going on here. Yeah. The subject is now doing this in the wild, and now is acting out, and that would have just made her even more crazy.
Talk about a scenario where an adult tries to win and or get their way. Because that's what I saw, as opposed to her saying, "This is so overwhelming for me. I'm gonna leave. I need to go lay down in my car and get myself together." She stays there and she tries all of these antics to in essence win this battle. Like, I know I'm doing all these things, but I need everybody to see this person as the instigator or the bad guy, and she doesn't give up until
Relentless, very relentless.
Yeah, because eventually the cops do come. I guess she agrees to leave the mall because the lady was asking that they escort her out, because she's like, "I'm gonna keep shopping. I don't know if she's gonna run back on me and attack me in other stores. You need to ask her to leave the mall." So eventually she does leave, but she was not gonna leave that spot until some kind of way she got a win. You can't just see this thing and call me this thing. I'm gonna prove my point, or I'm gonna make everybody see this lady is responsible. Oh my gosh. That's
It's interesting to see what happens to someone when their denial is just ripped from them and they have to face it. Choices they make.
Yeah.
So earlier that day, before I got this message, I have all like the major news channels alert my phone, not because I want to track the world, but I'll read a lot of finance information, and global things can impact markets. Well, one of the first things I saw this morning was one of the ladies who was at the Capitol riot. She was supposed to go to court, but her plea was that she has a divine spirit and that the court of law doesn't apply to her. Her proof, and I can't make this up, I can look it up. Her proof was that she did some DNA tests and found out that her DNA of her family existed in America before the laws that became known as the Constitution. Now, to me, that made me go, wait a second. You went to the Capitol to fight over the Constitution, and now you're disagreeing with the Constitution. What? Are you serious? But that was the first thing I woke up to. And I was like, wow, this world is getting so tone deaf. People are tone deaf. And then I saw a video like that, and I was like, man, like, this is not just an isolated thing. There are mass groups of people who either feel so self-entitled or self-righteous that they will deliberately cause other people uncomfort and pain. Or there's some people who are just so disillusioned that they're feeding themselves, or the group of people are feeding themselves the same BS lie that they actually believe it. And that's probably worse, because how do you convince somebody, even though their eyes are open, that they're not blind, right? If they believe they're blind, dude, you could see me, I'm standing right here, but I can't.
It got me thinking when you said like what her reasoning was. So like during the video you mentioned like, oh look, the people are still like kind of shopping and doing their thing while the woman's on the ground going crazy. So that's like, I thought that'd be kind of weird reaction, like, because I don't know what I would do. But then now I'm imagining if I were like a judge and then she walked into my courtroom and I was like, okay, like, what's your plea? And she's like, well, not guilty because, ancestors and stuff. Like, I'm allowed to kind of, I'm above the law because I'm pre-Constitution. Like, I don't know, I don't know what I would, how do you deal with that? Like, in a court, like if you're a judge, prosecutor, like, how would you, I don't understand, like, how you even would do it.
Here's how it would get done. From some experience I have with courts, they will read the law that they broke in its full extent, and they would ask them, do you feel like you apply to this law, whether you agree or not? And if you don't agree, you're going to get convicted of a crime and maybe have further evaluation. it's not like one thing I felt when I watched that video, and I want to ask Amechi's point because he hasn't said much. Amechi always has these very intriguing perspectives, so I like him. One thing I thought about is I started asking myself this question because of the media. When I see incidents like that, I go, okay, you can't rule out mental health, right? However, it leads me to ask the second question: whose accountability does that really fall on, right? I mean, if I know that, let's say, I have a temper tantrum and I go to public places, and this happens often, right? And I explode. I even say to myself, I'm going to have an anger explosion as I'm going off on somebody. And then I, slowly faint to the ground and I get back up stronger. You would think I'm a crazy MF who needs to be seriously kept away from society, right? But some people don't get that same outcome or outlook. And I'm not saying mental health doesn't have a part of it, because it clearly does. I share this with, I feel like, I don't know, no disrespect to anybody working in mental health, but I don't know as a country what we do with it. We have some of the worst, like some of the worst mental health, with some of the highest prosperity, some of the most diversity, multiple cultures. Does that offer play into it? I don't know. But I know when you let people get away with things and have no accountability, right, for as much as they can imagine, it's going to reinforce all those bad behaviors and make them use mental health as a crutch, And
I want to say, this may not be a comfortable position, but if you're on the receiving end of one of those tantrums, regardless, they're going to get the hands or something. You got to do something to defend yourself. This is, you can't do a diagnosis when they're being attacked.
Who's throwing down the Victoria's Secret?
Hey, the woman could have, right? She could have engaged with her aggressively and violently. She could have, right? But she didn't. And she dodged around.
The camera was some sort of repellent that she had to get a distance away from it. It was fascinating.
Mean she could have given her a spanking, which is kind of
yeah.
No. Spanked her. Oh, discipline, get on her level.
That lady knew what she was doing, because she said later on when the cops came that she didn't want to lose her job. She's a TA, a teacher assistant in a middle school. She didn't want to lose her job. She didn't want to lose her apartment. She didn't want to. She knew that something public like that, with the racial makeup of the participants in what was going on, all of that, it had some implications in 2021, and she didn't want that loss.
Nobody would have knew who you were if you just walked out of the.
How about that? How about that?
And you know who else gets called into that court, Adam? The manager of Victoria's Secret. The fuck are you doing? If somebody can chase another customer around, even if you don't even understand what happened, if you imagine being the manager coming back from lunch, all right, y'all, what the fuck is going on? What are y'all doing? And then somebody passes out. You're like, what? What's wrong with her? I didn't see no bullet. You get shot. What's going on? Should I be ducking? You would be like, everybody get the fuck out. Everybody get out.
Turn the store around. All right, everybody get out.
We cut to the break room of Victoria's Secrets. Oh gosh, it is a madhouse out there, y'all. Coming in here to eat my tuna sandwich. It is my lunchtime, 12 o'clock.
Man, I'm telling y'all, I'm glad they put me back here folding off the inventory. I ain't trying to be out there on the floor. Them people crazy.
Oh my God.
Are those 5 women still fighting?
They are still fighting, Amechi.
There's 5 of them.
All 5.
None of them are together.
Listen,
a 5-way fight.
I made an announcement that we're going to have a special sale on the rack of panties in the front, thinking that might diffuse it. Did nothing. All the other people who weren't fighting went and took advantage of the sales. It's useless.
It's like there's panties in the air everywhere now.
Yeah, do something about that, man.
Yeah, they really do, because See, there's Adam right there. I didn't think he was going to make it because they hit him in the back of the head and he started bleeding. Are you okay, Adam?
I'm good. I just need to come back here and ask a question. This lady, look, she's trying to use this coupon. The coupon code's not working. Can one of you all volunteer to come out and help? No.
Let me see that. Let me see the coupon. Okay, just type in XY19 panty. That'll get the discount.
Yeah. Okay, and even if it doesn't, honestly, I'm just going to tell her to take them and just keep walking because it's not worth it.
Also, Adam, get that head wound checked out, man.
That gash is deep.
I got an hour till lunch. Let me, give me a minute, guys. I mean, I'll be back. Don't worry.
I understand.
Oh, he was doing a great job. I love how he is just out there handling it. I think if we just stay back here, we stay here, we'll handle here.
Exactly. Astrid, remember that time?
Sorry. Yeah, I know I'm late. I'm sorry. Is the manager here? It's crazy out there.
No,
good. Yeah, one of those women. They got like a crossbow or something. Their arrows flying. I had to grab one of the mannequins and use that as a shield to get back here.
Woo! And this is your first week. You're doing good, Antoine.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Oh, thank you. I really want to work here. I need the job. I need it. But it's crazy out there.
You could go out there. It's like on the job training. It's like you're.
Let me put my stuff in my locker and then finish clocking in and
I know
stretch.
You got it because Astrid has been here the longest. I mean, her metal leg, the shrapnel that's in her back.
Ow.
All of that stuff happened right here at this Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
And she's been here for over 20 years and she just won't quit. She loves this place.
Yeah, we're taking a day off. Yeah.
Yeah, I sit in the back now. I do that. I handle.
Oh, you're like Danny Glover of Victoria's Secret.
She's wise. Inner strength.
Ugly.
I used to be the manager until I got shot. And then now I'm back into the back and stand away.
Was that Adam? Did he need help?
Yeah. Okay, guys. They brought the lady with the crossbow. She left. So,
good.
Great job.
But now we got people. I don't know where they got these rocks from, but they're out here throwing rocks. And then somebody
in the mall.
And somebody got some nunchucks. I do not know what's going on.
How many people are out there fighting, Adam? Do you know?
It's
you didn't count.
It's elevated to 7.
It's Adam. Get back out there and count. You need to get
an accurate number, Adam.
Accurate number.
Okay. That's being the new
What are you guys doing back here?
Finally, Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Clocking in.
Yeah, it's a war zone out there. I need you in your riot gear. I want you to go and get the riot gear out of the cabinet. Let's put it on. Let's strap up.
How are we going to do this story thing?
I'm on my lunch break.
Well, after your break, I want you in the riot gear with the Billy Club, and we're going out there.
You are leading.
Well, I've been out there. I've been doing the fight.
We cut to Ronnie having a interview with the new hire.
Look, Antoine, I really need you on the team. I see you've got a good martial arts background. I know it doesn't seem like Victoria's Secret is the kind of place where that would come in handy, but you'd be surprised. Yeah. And I don't know if you have familiarity with
like an M16 out there.
Weapons of any kind. If you've done any training in the military at all, that would be also. Yep. I mean, just say, it's a rough. We're in a rough place out here, so I don't want you to get scared. But I mean, it pays well. I know you need the job. So, what do you say?
Well, I'll tell you what. I've never officially served, but when the last movie ever came out, got a little crazy out there. I learned a thing or two, so I think I think it prepared me for this.
All right. Well, hey, you're welcome aboard. I need you there. First thing, 9 a.m. on Saturday.
You know that you're bleeding out of your ear?
Yeah, it happens. It was a little rough. We had a sale this morning, and we're gonna have a big sale.
And that is the Cant Tell Us Nothing show, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah. And shout out to shout out to my guests. Had a lovely time with them in the class, and obviously a lovely time with them on the podcast. Shout out to them. Kiss them, hug them whenever you see them. You guys want to say anything, plug anything, or share anything?
Just thanks for having me and us here, and thanks for inviting us on your show. I've had nothing to plug, but just thanks.
Yeah, thanks. This was really cool, guys. It was so fun. Nice to meet you too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Well, then also want to shout out the people in the chat. Shauna, Carol, Erica, Carlos, Demetria, Chicken Joe Clark, Cameron Smith, Miranda. Oh, so we got. Yeah. Shauna.
You got Shauna?
Thank you so much for stopping by, leaving a comment. If you didn't leave a comment, thank you so much for watching anyway. DJ Comfy, get them tunes ready for John, for Tandi, for myself, for Amechi. Can't Tell Us Nothing show, everybody. See you next week.